Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. On a short notice, I thought I had put it on my community tab on YouTube, and I forgot to. Hey, Lily. And here comes the dog. So I figure I'd come on a little early and just, I don't know, chat. Let's start work next Monday. It just happens to be the same place I worked at already, but um, yeah, yeah. I hope everybody is having a great Tuesday. I had an interview today. Don't think it went very well, but I don't know. Some people are hard to read these days, so I have no clue. And I have not really done an interview in probably uh, 8 years, something like that. An actual interview, that is. So I'm live on Facebook also. Um, it was short notice. Like I said, I thought I had posted a community tab post, but I checked it. Good thing I have the helper that checks my stuff with me. If I haven't done it, she's like, you didn't do this. So, thank you for being a big help to me. And that's my twin sister. She's always here, always listening. Even when I'm in a bad mood, she's still always here. Got my back all the time. And I appreciate her for that. The same for me to her. Uh, twin sisters, best friends, neighbors. And of course, he's getting busy on chewing that bone. Trying to be annoying. Anyways, guys, so I'm slowly uploading videos for my adventures of our day trip to Cascade Locks. That was a great trip with my parents. It was just, we went up to Cascade Locks and sat and had lunch and sat in a park. I have not sat in a park with my parents in I don't know how many years. So I've really missed it. It was really great to get away from town and to be able to take them away from home for a few hours. Um, they don't get out very often. Um, so it was wonderful to be able to do that. So yeah, I that was a great day. Sunday last week was a great day. I had to spend it with my parents and doing stuff that we all like to do. Um, but yeah, definitely should do that more often. Um, but it always depends on how everybody's feeling. So, but anyways, today is an AA meeting. I'm not supposed to start until 4. Um, so you heard him chomp that thing. You would think that he would not be able to chew this thing that my sister got him. It's a hard alligator. It's it's like it's plastic, or it's hard plastic, but it is good for them to chew on. So he loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's the only toy he has not been able to tear apart, and I feel safe with him chewing it, because otherwise he'd be chewing it apart and swallowing it, and we don't need to have to take him to the vet to remove plastic from his belly, because that almost happened once. Don't need it again. And I also did want to share another part. Um, Due to medical insurance and stuff, I cannot afford my CPAP machine. So I am having to send it back. I cannot afford the appointments. I can't afford the mats. I can't afford anything that I need to have it. So my original thought was it would be cheaper if with our insurance, and it's not. Um, we don't qualify for any assistance. So I told him yesterday that I will be returning it, and I also had to tell the sleep clinic that I won't be back. Um, I'm not happy about it, but when you can't afford it, you can't afford it. And so I'm trying not to be too upset about it. I mean, it is what it is. I can't change it. So go with the flow. Anyways, um, we are going. My twin and I are going to Jelly Roll concert, our first ever concert. So some of you guys know I'm just gonna start off the beginning of the meeting before I'll wait until about about 4:15 to start that. So we the last time we went and stayed away from home was 4th of July weekend. So we really don't get to do very much traveling or camping or anything like that, because uh, money wise and my husband's job and stuff make it to where we have to set it up in enough advance and actually have enough money to be able to go. And so we really haven't been able to go much. I mean, we only went camping once or twice last year. I think it was once. And then this summer we've only been able to go once. So my sister and I started when I started my YouTube. I got into a very wonderful community, and my sister and I went to our first meetup in Southern Oregon, and um, we had some really, really awesome friends in that community, and it's it was our first camp trip, just her and I. So we have started 2 years ago doing things just her and I, and um, but we went last year as well. So that was our second trip, and then so we've been doing a lot of the first. So we went and got Okay, we got separate tattoos, but we do go every so often and get the same tattoo. So I have a monkey on my wrist. She has the same monkey. Um, we both have a heart on our chest, but they're not the same. We both have this cat on our arms, not in the same location. And I only have one cat on my arm. That's because I rescued him. And we each have a tattoo on our right leg, and it's the same tattoo, just different colors, with each other's favorite colors in it. So yes, we have done stuff, just the two of us, and we both got our nose pierced the same day, and it was for our birthday. I think last year, if I'm right, it was last year's birthday. I might be wrong. It might have been the year before. Don't quote me on it. No, it's the right leg, Lil. Right? Oh, it is the left leg. Ah, I was wrong. See, called me out. Um, but yeah, so this year our thing that we're going, just the two of us, is we're going to Jelly Roll concert, guys. I am so pumped, so excited. It's our first actual concert, in a building with a huge crowd of people. It's going to be definitely different. Last time I was in that arena was for Monster Jam when my kids were little. But super excited. I I got hooked on Jelly Roll music uh last year. I want to say it was his country music that got me because I love country music. But yeah, he things about addiction and stuff, and that's what got me because I'm a recovering alcoholic. So it speaks volumes to me, like it does to other people for whatever addiction thing that they may have going on. So, but yes, I'm excited. After that, we go to Long Beach, Washington for our annual Rod Run. Super stoked. Can't wait. Oh, and Lily says she's never been in that building. Yeah, I've been in the building. My husband was in there and got to see my favorite group sing. He got to listen to Rascal Flatts, and he got to shake Toby Keith's hand. That was when Rascal Flatts opened for Toby Keith, and it's sad that Toby Keith is gone now. Um, Cancer sucks. It really does. But anyways, yeah, the Rod Run is the 40th anniversary, and we've been going for 6 years or longer. So yeah, it's become an annual. We always go for that, but we all really love the shows and the cars and all that stuff. Anyway, mm, it's almost 4 o'clock, so I think I will go ahead and get the meeting going, even though I messed up setting it up. Yeah, I might not go next year. Um, go do something else, hopefully. Anyways, hold on a minute. I'm gonna have to go turn the light on because it's getting to where I can't see. The sun went behind a cloud. Trying to make it without having to turn the light on, but it's almost fall, guys. Getting there. It's getting there. My husband's pretty excited about next weekend. Um, but anyways, AA meeting is going to start now. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends. Sorry. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrong. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all the defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continued to take personal inventory and when wrong, promptly admit it. 11. Taught through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understand Him. Only praying for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. I do put in the description, the book we're reading, the chapter we're on, or the story, and the page. So we are on chapter 7, Working with Others, page 89. Will you quit? Always crazy. Practical experiences shows that nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. It works when other activities fail. This is our 12th suggestion. Carry this message to other alcoholics. You can help when no one else can. You can secure their confidence when others fail. Remember, they are very ill. Life will take on new meaning. To watch people recover, to see them help others, to watch loneliness vanish, to see a fellowship grow up about you. To have a host of friends. This is an experience you must not miss. We know you will not want to miss it. Frequent contact with newcomers and with each other is the bright spot of our lives. Perhaps you are not acquainted with any drinkers who want to recover. You can easily find some by asking a few doctors, ministers, priests, or hospitals. They will be only too glad to assist you. Don't start out as an ev- evangelist or reformer. Unfortunately, a lot of prejudice exists. You will be handicapped if you arouse it. Ministers and doctors are com- competent, and you can learn much from them if you wish. But it happens that because of your own drinking experience, you can be uniquely useful to other alcoholics. So cooperate. Never criticize. To be helpful is our only when you discover the prospect from Alcoholics Anonymous. Find out all you can about him. If he does not want to stop drinking, don't waste your time trying to persuade him. You may spoil a later opportunity. This advice is given for his family also. They should be patient, realizing they are dealing with a sick person. If there's any indication that he wants to stop, have a good talk with the person most interested in him, usually his wife. Get an idea of his behavior, his problems, his background, the seriousness of his condition, and his religious leanings. You need this information to put yourself in his place, to see how you would like him to approach you if the table was turned. Sometimes it is wise to wait till he goes on a binge. The family may object to this, but unless he is in a dangerous physical condition, it is better to risk it. Don't deal with him when he is very drunk, unless he is ugly and the family needs your help. Wait for the end of the spree, or at least for a lucrative interval. Then let his family or friend ask him if he wants to quit for good, and if he would go to any extreme to do so. If he says yes, then his attention should be drawn to you as a person who has recovered. You should be described to him as one of a fellowship who, as part of their own recovery, try to help others and who will be glad to talk to him if he cares to see you. If he does not want to see you, never force yourself upon him. Neither should the family hysterically plead with him to do anything, nor should they tell him much about it or about you. They should wait for the end of his next drinking bout. You might place this book where he can see it. In the interval, Here, no specific rule can be given. The family must decide these things, but urge them not to be over anxious, for that might spoil matters. Usually, the family should not try to tell your story. When possible, avoid meeting a man through his family. Approach through a doctor or an institution is a better bet. If your man needs hospitalization, he should have it, but not forcibly unless he is violent. Let the doctor, if he will, tell him he has something in the way of a solution. When your man is better, the doctor might suggest a visit from you. So, you have talked with the family. Leave them out of the first discussion. Under these conditions, your prospect will see he is under no pressure. He will feel he can deal with you without being nagged by his family. Call on him while he is still jittery. He may be more receptive when depressed. See your man alone if possible. At first, engage in general conversation. After a while, turn the talk to some phase of drinking. Tell him enough about your drinking habits, symptoms, and experience to encourage him to speak of himself. If he wishes to talk, let him do so. You will thus get a better idea of how you ought to proceed. If he is not communicative, give him a sketch of your drinking career up to the time you quit, but say nothing for the moment of how that was accomplished. If he is in a serious mood, dwell on the trouble liquor has caused you, being careful not to moralize or lecture. If his mood is light, tell him harmless stories of your escapades. Get him to tell some of his. When he sees you know all about the drinking game, commence to describe yourself as an alcoholic. Tell him how baffled you were, how you finally learned that you were sick. Give him an account of the struggles you made to stop. Show him the mental twist which leads to the first drink of a spree. We suggest you do this as we have done it in the chapter on alcoholism. If he is alcoholic, he will understand you at once. He will match your mental inconsistencies with some of his own. This is him, her, it doesn't matter. We are all welcome. If you are satisfied that he is a real alcoholic, begin to dwell on the hopeless feature of the malady. Show him from your own experience how the queer mental condition surrounding that first drink prevents normal functioning of the willpower. Don't at this stage refer to this book unless he has seen it and wishes to discuss it. And be careful not to brand him as an alcoholic. Let him draw his own conclusion. If he sticks to the idea that he can still control his drinking, tell him that possibly he can. If he is not too alcoholic, but insists that if he is severely afflicted, there may be little chance he can recover by himself. I need to Can you continue to speak of alcoholism as an illness, a fatal malady? Talk about the conditions of body and mind which accompany it. Keep his attention focused mainly on your personal experience. Explain that many are doomed who never realize their predicament. Doctors are rightly loath to tell alcoholic partners or patients the whole story unless it will serve some good purpose. But you can talk to him about the hopelessness of alcoholism because you offer a solution. You will you will soon have your friend admitting he has many, if not all of the traits of the alcoholic. I skipped the whole part. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. If his own doctor is willing to tell him that he is alcoholic, so much the better. Even though your colleague may not have entirely admitted to his condition, he has become very curious to know how you got well. Let him ask you that question. If he will, tell him exactly what happened to you. Stress the spiritual teacher freely. If pending to you, stress the spiritual teachers freely. If the man be agnostic or atheist, make it empathetic that he does not have to agree with your conception of God. He can choose any conception he likes, provided it makes sense to him. The main thing is that he be willing to believe in a power greater than himself and that he live by spiritual principles. When dealing with such a person, you had better use everyday language to describe spiritual principles. There is no use arousing any prejudice he may have against certain theological terms and conceptions about which he may already be confused. Don't raise such issues no matter what your own convictions are. Your prospect may belong to a religious denomination. His religious education and training may be far superior to yours. In that case, he is going to wonder how you can add anything to what he already knows. But he will be curious to learn why his own convictions have not worked and why yours seem to work so well. He may be an example of the truth that faith alone is insufficient To be vital, faith must be accompanied by self-sacrifice and use unselfish, constructive action. Let him see that you are not there to instruct him in religion. Admit that he probably knows more about it than you do, but call to his attention the fact that however deep his faith and knowledge, he could not have applied it, or he would not drink. Perhaps your story will help him see where he has failed to practice the very precepts he knows so well. We represent no particular faith or denomination. We are dealing only with general principles common to most denominations. Outline a program of action explaining how you made a self appraisal, how you straightened out your past, and why you are now endeavoring, endeavoring to be helpful to him. It is important for him to realize that your attempt to pass this on to him plays a vital part in your own recovery. Actually, he may be helping you more than you are helping him. Make it plain he is under no obligation to you, that you hope only that he will try to help other alcoholics when he escapes his own difficulties. Suggest how important it is that he place the welfare of other people ahead of his own. Make it clear that he is not under pressure, that he needn't see you again if he doesn't want to. You should not be offended if he wants to call it off, for he has helped you more than you have helped him. If your talk has been sane, quiet, and full of human understanding, you have perhaps made a friend. Maybe you have disturbed him about the question of alcoholism. This is all to the good. The more hopeless he feels, the better. He will be more likely to follow your suggestions. Your candidate may have reasons why he need not follow all of the program. He may rebel at that thought of a drastic house cleaning which requires discussion with other people. Do not contradict such views. Tell him you once felt as he does, but you doubt whether you would have made such progress had you not taken action. I don't know what that was. On your first visit, tell him about the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. If he shows interest, lend him your copy of the book, of this book. Unless your friend wants to talk further about himself, do not wear out your welcome. Give him a chance to think it over. If you do stay, let him steer the conversation in any direction he likes. Sometimes a new man is anxious to proceed at once. and you may be tempted to let him do so. This is sometimes a mistake. If he has trouble later, he is likely to say, you rushed him. You will be most successful with alcoholics if you do not exhibit any passion for crusade or reform. Never talk down to an alcoholic from any moral or spiritual hilltop. Simply lay out the kit of spiritual tool for his inspection. Show him how they work with you. Offer him friendship and fellowship. Tell him that if he wants to get well, you will do anything to help. If he is not interested in your solution, if he expects you to act only as a banker for his financial difficulties or a nurse for his sprees, you may have to drop him until he changes his mind. This he may do after he gets hurt some more. If he is sincerely interested and wants to see you again, ask him to read this book in the interval after doing that. He must decide for himself whether he wants to go on. He should not be rushed or prodded by you, his wife, or his friends. If he is to find God, the desire must come from within. If he thinks he can do the job in some other way or prefers some other spiritual approach, encourage him to follow his own conscience. We have no monopoly on God. We merely out we merely have an approach that works with us. But point out that we alcoholics have much in common and that you would like in any case to, to be friendly. Let it go at that. Do not be discouraged if your prospect does not respond at once. Search out another alcoholic and try again. You are sure to find someone desperate enough to accept with eagerness what you offer. We find it a waste of time to keep chasing a man who cannot or will not work with you. If you leave such a person alone, he may soon become convinced that he cannot recover by himself. To spend too much time on any one situation is to deny other some other alcoholic an opportunity to live and be happy. One of our fellowship failed entirely with with his first half dozen prospects. He often says that if he had continued to work on them, he might have deprived many others who have since recovered of their chance. Suppose now, I'm not going to get through this whole thing today. Suppose now you are making your second visit to a man. He has read this volume and says he is prepared to go through with the 12 steps of the program of recovery. Having had the experience yourself, you can give him much practical advice. Let him know you are available if he wishes to make a decision and tell his story, but do not insist upon it if he prefers to consult someone else. He may be broke and homeless. If he is, you might try to help him about getting a job or give him a little financial assistance. But you should not deprive your family or creditors of money they should have they should have. Perhaps you will want to take the man into your home for a few days, but be sure you use discretion. Be certain he will be welcomed by your family and that he is not trying to impose your upon you for money, connections, or shelter. Permit that and you only harm him. You will be making it possible for him to be insincere. You may be aiding in his destructive rather than his recovery. Never avoid these responsibilities, but be sure you are doing the right thing. If you assume them, helping others is the foundation stone of your recovery. A kindly act once in a while isn't enough. You have to kindly act once in a while isn't enough. You have to act the Good Samaritan every day, if need be. It may mean the loss of many nights' sleep, great interference with your pleasure, interruptions to your business. It may mean sharing your money and your home, counseling frantic wives and relatives, in innumerable innumerable trips trips to police courts, sanitariums, hospitals, jails, and asylums. Your telephone may jangle at any time of the day or night. Your wife may sometimes say she is neglected. A drunk may smash the furniture in your home or burn a mattress. You may have to fight with him if he is violent. Sometimes you will have to call a doctor and administer sedatives under his direction. Another time you may have to send for the police or an ambulance. Occasionally you will have to meet such conditions. Oh, I knew that. Can't see it. Well, I've been going for an hour already. Wow. So that'll be it for today. Um, yeah, um, you got to always remember that they may not know how much they need help. And if you, I nagged my sister for a while to come to AA, and then my sponsor's like, you need to not nag your sister, because all you're going to do is make her not want to come even more. And she kept telling me to read this in your book, read this in your book. And I was like, no, I'm not going to read it. I read it, and I read that. And so right then, I was like, okay, I'm not going to suggest it. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm not going to, like, beg her to come. And so I stopped asking. I stopped nagging. I was just like, whatever. If she's going to come, she's going to come on her own. And she did. She came on her own time, when she was ready. And she's still sober today. And I've helped other people, you know, get sober, um, from more than just alcohol. Um, I don't say names here other than my sister, who everybody already knows, and I don't even say my sponsor's full name or any of that stuff. But I am open about my journey and my sobriety, and how much I am grateful for the fellowship of AA. And I was one of those newcomers, and I didn't always stay for the whole meeting, because I'd start to get weirded out, because even though I had been sober for a while, I really hadn't been comfortable telling anyone about what I had been through and what I had put people through, because I was really ashamed of it. I mean, fighting for 30 years of your life, saying I'm not going to be that alcoholic. I'm not going to be like my father, my birth father, and I wasn't going to do it, and I slipped down that slope of the alcoholic that I swore I would never be. But I did, and I've learned so much just since becoming sober about all these other people who have the same problem. And some of us really do get there, and we get out of it, and we don't turn back. But there's some of us that don't ever get out, and that's sad. And that's why we always say to share your story if that's something you're comfortable doing. That's why I'm sharing mine. And I'm being open about my sobriety, and uh, taking family members and helping them to find that they can do it, and uh, friends of mine, helping them. It's just a blessing to be able to help people, and it's free for me to do that. And when you can do something for free like that, why not do it? Um, just share. I don't hide the fact that I'm a recovering alcoholic, because I am. I've been sober for almost 10 years, and I'm proud of it every single day. Even though I have my days of being rude and obnoxious and crying and all those other feelings that you feel, I feel them sober now. I don't drink to feel that way. I don't drink because, so and so did this to me. And I don't say, oh, well, it's a celebration for a party. I don't drink anymore. That's part of my life that is gone. And I plan to keep it that way. And I hold myself accountable every single day. Excuse me. And by the way, coming up in the next week, um, My husband and I have not smoked a cigarette in 6 months. And without AA, that wouldn't be possible. I would have already been back to smoking cigarettes. And I've been off of the Chantix for a week. So I'm doing really good. I still have those days where, like, yeah, today I'm gonna. But I'm not. I can't. I need to stick around here longer than, longer than emphysema and cancer and all that. So I don't have cancer that I know of, but I do have emphysema. And I still smoked all the way. I could have quit 3 years ago. I should have quit 3 years ago, um, but I didn't. And so I quit, and I I just don't have any desire to go out there and smoke. I mean, I have trouble breathing without the cigarettes, so uh, um, that's something I deal with every day. Is I put that to myself, just like I did the alcohol. I didn't. Nobody forced me to drink it. Nobody forced me to smoke. But I'm just glad that I quit. Hopefully, prolong my life. I can stay a while extra. Um, but anyways, guys, I'm glad you were here for my meeting, even though it was short notice or no notice. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and read the daily reflection and then get off of here. Uh, so, August 27th, centering our thoughts. When World War II broke out, our AA dependency on a higher power had its first major test. AA entered the services and were scattered all over the world. Would they be able to take the discipline, stand up under fire, and endure? That is as Bill sees it, page 200. And we're going to be getting into Bill's story, uh, not this Sunday, but probably the next Sunday. I will center my thoughts on a higher power. I will surrender all to his power within me. I will become a soldier for this power, feeling the might of the spiritual army as it exists in my life today. I will allow a wave of spiritual union to connect me through my gratitude, obedience, and discipline to this higher power. Let me allow this power to lead me through the orders of the day. May this May the steps I take today strengthen my words and deeds. May I know that the message I carry is mine to share, given freely by this power greater than myself. Exactly what I said. I give it freely. A gift I got for myself. Freely. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. Um, I'm going to go ahead and close the meeting. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week. And remember, you're not alone. There's always someone there to listen, to help. Um, you just have to want it for yourself. Because you can't do it for anybody else. You have to do it for you. Because you control you. So, let's say the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. Love you guys. Love you some both at the same time.